It's time now for our Abby Award-winning Outside the Huddle feature presented by Premier Service Company. And it's a good one tonight. Former Alabama and NFL Dallas Cowboys star Tony Dixon, along with his former Crimson Tide teammate Kecalf Bailey and former Stillman football player Eric McCalpine, host the Tony Dixon Friends Podcast, which is different than most podcasts you'll find with former football players. It features men having candid conversations about overcoming real-life struggles, mental health, fatherhood, and personal growth beyond the football field. Here's Football Friday's Catherine Mintel.
There's a difference between speaking and communicating. According to a 2025 study by the University of Arizona, the average person speaks 13,000 words per day, and that does not include words typed on our phones and computers. How much meaning and value do those words contain?
You good, bro? And oftentimes when you ask people, are you good, or how are you doing, how's your day, they'll give you that immediate response, yes, I'm good. But we talk about following up.
Best friends Eric McCalpine, Kecalf Bailey, and Tony Dixon have made that check-in a public display with their Tony Dixon Friends podcast. The concept feels simple. Close friends should be the ones that you feel most comfortable opening up to. It's not that easy.
Why didn't you tell me? I saw you. Why didn't you open up?
You know, because that's admitting that I have a problem.
Growing up, all three friends were popular and standout athletes, eventually going on to play college football. Dixon and Bailey were college roommates at Alabama, but didn't learn to communicate until years later.
And we did not even have the openness of conversation then to really know each other. Yeah. Imagine had we known then how to better communicate. You know, it may not have taken us 40 years to truly become brothers as we are today.
Dixon played beyond college. He was one of the top defensive backs in college football and was selected by the Dallas Cowboys in the second round of the 2000 NFL Draft. A life that others consider to be a dream, but he realized his dream was not the pot of gold.
Once you get there, you hadn't even thought further out. You know, so there's an emptiness that comes on the backside of success that nobody talks about.
Dixon began withdrawing from teammates and friends and isolating. His spiral was only the beginning. Early in the NFL career, Dixon bought a gun with thoughts about taking his own life, going to concerning lengths and detail. The main issue, if he went through with it, people would know that he was battling depression, and that stigma was unacceptable even after he was gone.
That's not going to work. I went and bought a motorcycle. Then I got another motorcycle. Because my point was, if I have a wreck on this motorcycle and die, guess what people are going to say? I don't know why Tony went and got that motorcycle, but they dangerous. Nobody would ever think that if I died by driving that motorcycle, that it was because of what I was going through.
It took nearly 2 decades before Dixon shared his story with his 2 best friends. Those conversations produced the idea for their podcast.
It's just life experience. And we just decide to put a camera in front of us and record our conversations, hoping to inspire other people, because as we realize it, other people are dealing with the same thing. And our goal is to create a community for conversation.
One important lesson they've learned is that you cannot do life without help.
You know, if your car is acting up, you go to a mechanic. If you're feeling sick, you go to a doctor. If you need to learn something, you go to school. Why have we made it to a point where when we have something that we're suffering with in life that we can't talk to someone? They all think that if I say anything is wrong with me, it's a sign of weakness, not realizing it's a sign of strength. And that's what this is all about.
Nobody can do this alone, all right? And that's what we want people to see is, and they'll see our experience. We're going to talk about the times where we tried to do it alone and what that looked like.
While they aren't licensed professionals, they believe their experiences make them uniquely qualified, and their words are having an impact.
We had a listener or a viewer, Chris, who at our meet and greet reached out to me, pulled me to the side and said, man, that episode, you opening up to your son helped me to have a conversation with my son and my kids at the house. And so that was just so rewarding for me to see that we're making an impact like that.
Through its stories and shared experiences, the Tony Dixon and Friends podcast pushes its audience to lean on others, check on friends, and walk through life with purpose. The topics vary, but not the intention. The aim of each episode is to provide wisdom, vulnerability, passion, and most importantly, heart.
All I can say is, wow, man, that's moving. Good stuff.